Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and I'm here at the Ranger booth, here to show some of the new products from my Simon Hurley Create line. And let's turn down to the surface and take a look at my 6 new ink colors. We are so excited about these. Last year I released 12 colors in my line. Those were a little bit more basic, but now we're getting into some of the fun and weird unique colors that kind of fill in the rest of the line and add a lot of versatility to it. I say that some of these colors kind of don't really know what they are, which is true, but it really helps them fill in the line and you could use them with different color families then. So here are the different swatch sheets. Let me talk about the new colors. So there's Piggyback in here. This one's a really nice light pink color, and it's going to go along great with Rosy Cheeks and Bee Sting. However, it's a warmer tone, so I wanted to make sure I'm introducing different tones of the colors instead of just giving you 3 different shades of the same exact tone. But these still layer up and create beautiful blends together as well. Then here we have Guppy, and what's really cool about Guppy is it's this bright orange color. It's a really nice warm toned orange, which I love. So it's a super bright and cheery color, against Traffic Cone, which is more of a little bit of a bluer color and a more dark orange, which is awesome. But they work together really well, and especially with the yellows too, to create some really cool looks. Next, let's talk about Psych. Now, Psych was a really fun one, and I love this one because it doesn't really know what it is, right? It could be either go along with the yellows, depending on how you blend it and use it, right? Look at that. Or you could use it along with the greens to create some really beautiful blends in that way. And I love the color because it's super bright and it adds a little bit of happy color to any of your projects. Now the next one is Minty Fresh, and what I love about Minty Fresh is it's kind of a neutral, but it also has a blue tint to it. So you're able to use it with the blues and greens, but you also can use it along with the Woof, which is my other gray neutral, and it works together really well with that as well as kind of a gray color, especially when you use it lightly. Now Tropical Tango is this really awesome teal color. We had some great greens and we had some great blues in the line, but I wanted to introduce this darker teal color that's really rich and saturated, and it's just a beautiful color to use along with the blues and greens in the line. Then next we have Crown Me, and everybody's really excited about this one. We love it because instead of just having that kind of more reddish triple berry purple color, you now have this nice dark purple grape royal color, which is really awesome and it's super saturated. So I'm excited about this one as well. And to blend it along with some of the other colors is really awesome to use everything together and get a little bit more versatility with 6 new colors. So if you guys haven't used my inks before, they're a water-based ink. A water-based dye ink, so they're going to sink into the surface really nicely, but they're really great at stamping, blending, and watercolor, which is really awesome. I find some inks on the market are really great at stamping, and not so great at the other 2, or vice versa, but these are really great at using with all different mediums and creating some beautiful blended effects on your cards. One of the things we kind of found out at the trade show is our product manager said to me, she came up and said, I would use reds and oranges together and they would blend really beautifully, or I would use greens and blues together and they would blend beautifully. But you tend to use all the different colors together that you're even not supposed to, and they create beautiful blends. So here I went in with red and green, and it doesn't create a nasty brown in between. It just blends to create a beautiful effect, which is awesome. And I love how you can really try and experiment with different colors and not have to worry about the color theory too much, and you get beautiful blends every time, which is awesome. And then here I sprayed on a little bit of water to get that awesome blotch effect, and it kind of bleaches some of the color. Okay, so now let's go in and show how well my inks blend on the surface. I'm using some Stark White cardstock, which comes in a pack of 10 in 8.5 by 11 sheets. It's a 110-pound cardstock, which is really great, and then it has no coated surface on it. So you're able to add your inks down, you're going to get some nice true solid colors because they sink into the surface and actually go into the cardstock, which is awesome. I'm going to start off with some Psych, which is that really bright green color that I love. I'm going to go into the surface there and kind of blend some of that color out. And I'm just trying to lay down kind of a heavy coat of color. So I'm going to do this pretty quickly so we can get the color onto the surface because the background doesn't really matter right now. I just want a heavy layer of color because we're going to be lifting the color off afterwards. Then I'll go in with Tropical Tango. Get lots of ink on my blending tool, and I'm able to go in and blend those together. And those create a really beautiful green color right in between there, which is awesome. So I'll move into here. So as you add more colors, the edges of the other inks will kind of soften out. If you wanted a much smoother blend, take a little bit more time and a little bit lighter of a hand, but I'm just trying to go in heavy-handed with all that color. Perfect. And then let's go in with a little bit of Triple Berry too. I love this color combination with green, blue, and purple. So see here, purple and green are supposed to make a nasty color in between there, but it just blends nice and smoothly and creates a really beautiful effect. So I encourage you to try new colors that you normally wouldn't use together because it doesn't really create mud, which is awesome. And I'll go down there and blend that together. I'll add a little bit of purple up here too. And then last but not least, let's go in with a little bit of Duffy, which is my brighter orange color. So let's go in here, blend that down. Right, and look, as you go in there, those edges kind of soft out. So if you weren't too careful with your inks, if you're just laying down color with a heavy hand, you're able to go in there and blend everything out, which is really awesome. I find that you're getting ink on your tool as well. Going back and forth with kind of a heavy hand to get lots of ink in there is great. If you want a little bit less ink, just tap on the surface and then going with a little bit of a lighter hand and you're able to get less color on there. So once I've got this background, I want to lift color off of the surface. So I'm going to go in here with my school Scribbles background stamp, which has a lot of awesome, fun, and playful images in here. And this is going to be really great to get texture on your background, which is awesome. So I'm going to go in with my distress sprayer. I'm going to spray down a nice little thin layer of water onto there. Now you'll know you're ready when you have tiny little water droplets on there. You don't want a lot of water because the tinier it is, the more detail you're going to still capture as you lift off that color. So I'll add that water down there, give it some good pressure. And there's that awesome background. And it'll continue to lift as it continues to dry. You can go in here with a heat tool if you're a little bit impatient. And if you don't want it to bleed anymore or blend anymore out, a good tip is to go in with your heat tool and dry that because that's going to stop that from bleeding and blending with all the water there. But it'll intensify that color and give a nice little bleached look there, which is super cool. But that's what I was talking about with the backgrounds. You don't need to make sure that everything is super nicely blended together because with that water it helps kind of blend everything and mix those colors together. So just lay down heavy colors. Even if you have harsh edges, you won't be able to see them once that's all done. So look at that once it's all finished. This is a different background that I use. Look, a whole different color combination, but I love how it looks once it's all finished. So thanks guys so much for joining me and seeing this awesome inking technique with the blending and how to kind of lift color off with water. I hope you really enjoyed it and I'll see you all soon.